AT&T is trying to save that proposed $39 billion takeover of T-Mobile USA. The company may sell off as much as 40% of T-Mobile's assets in order to get that deal approved. Remember, the Justice Department has sued to block the takeover, and the FCC signaled that it will also try to stop AT&T. Joining us from Chicago is Jennifer Fritzsche of Wells Fargo Securities. She is a Bloomberg best on AT&T when it comes to accuracy. Jennifer, welcome to In Business. Is this deal alive or dead?
It's certainly going to be an uphill battle, no question. Is it totally dead? I would say no. I saw last week's move as more a tactical move by AT&T to kind of consider other optionality here.
Well, these reports, Bloomberg, New York Times, looking at this 40% sale of assets, is that a strategic move that you think would help them to get this deal through?
It certainly would help. I mean, I think the thought in Washington is that they want to create another fourth player that has the look, feel, and smell of an of a T-Mobile rather, and 40% assets certainly would do that.
What would they be most likely to shed?
You know, it's unclear. I mean, clearly the reason that they want to do this deal is spectrum. So to divest of what would be considered naked spectrum without the subscribers is unlikely in key areas such where they need it, like New York and San Francisco. But if you take away some of the subscribers in non-key areas, which really make that HHI index stand out, I think it's something where they would consider it.
Now, why does AT&T need T-Mobile? I mean, why go through this, pay the $4 billion, fee for withdrawing the application, and continue to fight this?
You know, a lot of it is about spectrum. AT&T has been very loudly speaking about the need for more spectrum. Verizon has been an advocate of that line of talk as well. But I think that is the biggest part of this, more than really the subscribers, is if you believe spectrum is kind of the lifeblood of the wireless network and no line of sight coming from the government, T-Mobile gives them a clear path to that.
And where does this put, Sprint and some of the other competitors?
You know, for Sprint, if this deal were to be totally dead, it's a victory, but I would characterize it more of a moral victory than anything else, because they would not be a distant third. But if T-Mobile is still in the industry, you have to question if that is going to be really good for the industry. You know, there's a line of thinking that they might become very aggressive in terms of pricing to kind of make up for ground lost these past, call it 9 months since the deal, or 6 months since the deal was announced.
I mean, if AT&T does step away, or now that they're in this in-between process, does it make a counterbid from Sprint more likely?
Well, one point, I don't think AT&T is really stepping away. Again, the move last week and the recognition of the fourth quarter charge for the breakup fee, I think is a change of direction, but it's still very much committed to this deal. And I think that the move with the FCC by pulling the applications allows them more options, maybe to get this in front of a new FCC when politics are more in their favor. But in terms of Sprint getting this done, I think the Department of Justice complaint, if you read that, it's very much focused on having the big four available in the U.S., big four national players. So for Sprint to come in and merge with T-Mobile does not seem like an easy task based on the reading of that.
Okay. It sounds like you would think there'd be government opposition to that as well because of that focus on four.
Absolutely.
All right, Jennifer, thanks for giving us your take.
Thanks, Margaret.